Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to I Must Talk TV. I am Gabriela Gabriel, and today I am bringing you a very exceptional woman. And when I say exceptional, I mean it in every angle. She is the founder of Caverra World, which is an NGO that is dedicated to inspiring and mentoring teenagers. And over the course of 7 years, she has impacted over 3,000 teenagers, not just in Lagos, but all around the country. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Mrs. Roseline Anijekwu. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, so can we please meet you? We want to know more about you.
Okay, thank you very much. I am Roseline Anijekwu, the Executive Director of Caverra World. So Caverra World is an organization that is committed to inspiring and motivating teenagers and youths to excellence. For over 7 years, we have been on the front line of building, motivating, and coaching these young ones. And I am also the champion of OCI Foundation International Lagos. I am a wife, a mother, and presently I am an author.
Yes, so we are here to talk about your new book, which happens to also be your very first book. But tell us, Mom, how does it feel to be an author? Does the sun hit differently? How does it feel?
Well, I feel very, very excited, extremely excited, and I'm kind of fulfilled.
Yeah, I like that word, fulfilled. Yeah. So your new book, what is the title? And tell us briefly what the book is all about.
Okay. So the book is, the title of the book is Discover, Maximize, Soar. And this book is a premium guide to discovering one's true self. So it's a premium guide to discovering your true self.
Discovering your true self.
Yeah.
And this title, Discover, Maximize, Soar, it's not a sentence. It's more like 3 words. Yeah. How did you come about that title?
Well, coming about this title all starts from helping these teenagers to find their pathway to success. And it all starts from discovering your true self. So it takes a person to discover his or her true self for that person to be able to maximize his or her potential. And that will enable the person to soar. Because discovering your true self is the first step on anyone's journey to success. So that is how this book comes about. It's when someone discovers his or her true self, that is when the person can make the right choices. That is when the person can actually find out those hidden, those latent potentials that are embedded in them. So, and once the person is able to find out those potentials, that is maximizing those potentials, then the person can soar like an eagle.
Amazing. Yeah. Soar like an eagle. Yeah. So from what you said, I take it that your targeted audience is not just anyone's, but you have the teenagers in mind for this book.
Yes, I have the teenagers in mind. But as you know, there are a lot of adults who are yet to discover themselves.
Yeah, true.
They are yet to find out who they truly are. So this book is not just for the teenagers, but for anyone who is yet to discover his or her true self. That is why it remains a premium guide to discovering one's true self. So both the preteens, the teenagers, the youths, the adults, it's for everyone. And that is why they say it cuts across. It's for everyone.
It cuts across.
Yes,
premium, guys. You heard it. Premium. A premium guide. You don't want to not have this book in your shelf. So at this point, I want to find out what experiences in your life spurred you into writing a book as this.
Okay, thank you. You know, as growing up as a teenager, I had a whole lot of experiences, and now as an adult, I really want to help these young ones to find their pathway to success, because the teenage stage is a very radical stage. It's a stage of uncertainties. It's a stage where peer pressure is very high, and every teenager, in fact, they don't have the minds of their own. So it takes a teenager who is well informed. It takes a person who is constantly motivated and directed to the right path to actually know what he or she wants in life. So that is one of the reasons why this piece is put together. As a young teen, in my growing up days, in my secondary school to be precise, in our JS1, when we came to school first, we're all boarders. So in the hostel that day, we all looked so promising. We all believed in the future. We believed that the reason and sole purpose of being in school is to achieve success, to do well academically. We were so focused, you know. But getting to JS3, SS1, a lot of people deviated. They started to lose focus. They weren't following that pathway to success anymore. They lost their direction to their success, you know. And it takes a person who follows the right direction to actually get to the destination of their life. Every human being have their destination, but until you follow the right direction, that is when you get to your own destination. So this book is put together to help every young one to get to the destination of their life. Because so many of them forget that they have a lane, and that is why they lose focus. So, but with this book here, anyone that comes across this book, anyone that goes through this book will actually discover his or her true self and would follow the right path to success.
Amazing, amazing. That is simply amazing. I want to ask, who is this book dedicated to and why?
Okay, this book is actually dedicated to three great people, to people that stands as role model to me, and I also believe not just to me but to everyone who loves success. You know, so the book is dedicated to firstly the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral A.Z. Gambo. He's a very determined person. He's a focused man. And he's a man of excellence. So I believe that he is a role model. So the book is dedicated to him. And also to Ngozi Chimamanda. Ngozi Chimamanda is my role model. And I believe that she's a role model not just to me, but to every responsible young person that admires success. So she's a great role model, and I always encourage the young ones to look up to her because she has demonstrated what it takes to be disciplined and to be a successful person in the right direction. And also, the book is dedicated to His Royal Majesty Ebuka Onunkwo. This man is a great role model to me, and he's a mentor as well. Because His Royal Majesty Ebuka Onunkwo lived a very successful life. He's a man that believes in himself. He believes that you can actually achieve whatever you want to achieve the moment you are disciplined and the moment you set your mind to success. So this book is dedicated to these three great individuals.
Amazing, amazing. And who endorsed this book?
This book is actually endorsed by Mrs. Charity Yakubu Wakawa. She's a Director of Education, Education Quality Assurance Services, Federal Ministry of Education. She was actually my secondary school teacher back then in FGC Kano, my English teacher. And it was also endorsed by Mrs. Chinenye Jerry Ama. She's a human development consultant. And also by Alhaji Tuku Mahmoud Bichi. He's currently a lecturer, and he was my secondary school classmate. And also by Reverend Dr. Yakubu Pam. He's the president of Nigeria Christian Pilgrim Commission. And also by Dr. Chris Ifediora. He's the founder of OCI Foundation, and he's a professor in medicine. And also by Reverend Father Leon Hussein.
Amazing. I mean, so this book is basically endorsed by really, really great and amazing adults
Yeah,
as well.
sure. Yeah.
And I want to believe that they are also individuals who are particular about teenagers and young people becoming the best of themselves.
Yes.
So I want to ask, was it always your dream to become a writer? I mean, this writing thing, do people really dream to be one, or they just stumble? Did you just stumble into being a writer, or you've always wanted to be one?
I have never dreamt of being a writer, to be honest, But with the work I do with the young ones, I believe that I cannot reach out to every young person, because presently in my platform, I have so many registered young ones, and there are some of them that are out that are not in, they're not based in Lagos, and they're in other states. So coming out to put this piece together is a way of reaching out to every young one all over the world, So I believe that this stands as a voice as well. So whoever reads this is also hearing directly from Mrs. Roseline Anijekwu.
Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. And so I can say that out of your passion and desire to see that teenagers become the best of what they were meant to be, you've been able to add another feather to your cap as an author.
Yes.
And that's very, very amazing.
Yes.
As a coach for teenagers, what can you say about teens?
Okay. Well, I will keep on emphasizing on this, that teenagers are like the foundation of a building. What do I mean by addressing them as a foundation of a building? Every life starts from the teenage stage. It's so unfortunate that here in Nigeria, people don't really talk about them. They are more focused on children, then they move to the youth, forgetting the teenagers, that teenage stage, that is the most vital stage in life. And that is the stage where you can rebuild. That is the stage they can mold. That is the stage they can shape. That is the stage they can revamp. That is the stage that you can actually instill every right norms and values in anyone's life. But it's very unfortunate that people don't even pay attention to this stage. So the teenage stage remains the foundational stage, and that is the stage that we must get it right. And anything that is not gotten right at this stage becomes problematic in the future. And I believe that the reason why we have so much problems, even with the leaders, with so many youths and adults, is because they have failed in their teenage stage. If they can get it right in that teenage stage, you can imagine how great the future is going to be, because these teenagers are the future. They are like 30% of teenagers all over presently. But I tell you, in the future, they are 100% involved. In the homes, when the teenagers are not well trained at that stage and they move to their youths, it becomes a problem. I think that is why, to a very large extent, we experience more of divorce, fightings in homes, a lot of problems, and this all happens because that very stage that they're supposed to build, that stage that they're supposed to mold, they lost it. Much was not done at that stage. And that is the most vital stage. That is the stage that they need to get it right, So, everyone really needs to sit up and do the right thing. And it all starts with the teenagers, So, these teenagers, they face a whole lot of challenges unknown to even their parents. It's a very challenging stage to them. And a lot of them, they bottle up a whole lot of things that could even push them to depression. So in my interaction with so many teenagers, I found out that so many of them are actually depressed. A lot of things bother them. Sometimes even they think of the future, they think of the happenings around. They try to, they constantly fight, and sometimes they don't even have anyone to listen to them. And that's because they don't really see them as, they don't really see their stage as an important stage. So I will really advise that the more they look into these teenagers and make them realize that they are so valued, that they are the most important people when you talk about stages of life, the best. Because just for instance, let me just use this as an instance. When you have a stockfish that is already very dried and you want to cut the fish, is it easy to cut?
No, it's not.
It's not easy. That is just how it is. But when it is fresh, when it is still growing and fresh, you can actually bend it to any shape and form you want. So that is how it is. So the teenage stage is that stage that you can mold, build, and give them that right shape and form that you want them to be. That is when you can actually push them in the right path. But because they don't take them serious, people don't really talk about them. So that is why we keep on having people with high moral decadence and people who don't even have value for themselves. Because it takes a person who knows the worth of value to give out value. You can't give out what you don't have.
Definitely.
So if we can inculcate the right norms and value in these teenagers, I think things will be better because they are the future, they are the leaders. If we expect to start having great leaders, we need to start with the teenagers. If we expect to start having great mothers, we need to start from the teenagers. If we expect to have great fathers, it all starts from the teenagers. Great aunties, it all starts from the teenagers. Don't forget, there are a lot of voices that speak to these teenagers. They battle with the voices from their peers. They battle from the voices from the social media, because a lot of them watch things from social media, Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok.
Yes, TikTok, and all those things speaks to them. So they need a greater voice to actually nullify all those negative voices for them, because they can't do it by themselves. So they need people they look up to. Many times some teenagers, either through my platform, they reach out to me, "Ma, please, can I talk to you?" And when you listen to them, you feel so, you see that these teenagers need help. They really, really need help. And until we begin to render help to them, that is when we are going to build a greater future. And don't forget, even when you build and your foundation is shaky, that building cannot stand. Either it starts to have cracks or it's going to collapse. So teenagers still remains the key to having a great and brighter future. So we should invest more in the teenagers. So that is what Caverra World is all about. And that is why this book is produced. That is why this book is written to help shape these teenagers, to give them a life, to give them the right direction, to push them to the right path. So this book stands as a premium guide to help these young ones to discover themselves. So that is why it is encouraged that every school, every human, this book should be in every home. Everyone should pick up this book. It's for everyone, both the Christians, the Muslims, be you who. This book is for you. As far as you want to discover yourself and get to the zenith point of your life, you need this book as a pathway to success.
Amazing. I mean, that was simply beautiful. In fact, I was like, just keep talking. I'm enjoying this whole thing. I was just learning and I was inspired from all of that. A lot really needs to be done by these teenagers. And we can see that you do a lot through your Caverra World organization. You do a lot for teenagers. And yeah, you also host one of the best pageantries for teenagers in Lagos. That's really amazing. Yeah. Before we call it a day, can you tell us, as a coach, an executive director, a mother, and now an author, how do you strike a balance across all this?
Well, it has not been an easy journey, but that thing that they say that when you have passion for something, nothing can stop you. Just from nowhere, you find out that a kind of strength is just released to you, and you see yourself functioning even without feeling the stress. So it has not been easy, but I just need to keep going because of the passion and the self-motivation to give the best to these young ones and to help them, So, in fact, the passion has just kept me. The passion.
Wow, thank you so much, ma'am. It's really been an amazing time with you right here in the studio. And your book, Discover, Maximize, and Soar, guys, you need to have it. If you have a young person in your life, then you need this book in your house. You need it in your library. If you are a school head, a teacher, please suggest this book to your school leadership because it's a must-have for every school and for every home. And even in your religious places, yes, if you have a library, then it should be there. So, guys, we have heard from Mrs. Roseline Anijekwu today. And this book would be ready to go in stores by when?
Once the launch is
It's completed. And when would that be?
Yeah.
When are we looking at?
Very soon, soonest.
Soonest.
Yeah.
So stick with us and we will give you updates as to when these books will be ready for you to pick up from your nearest bookstore. Until I come your way again next time, I am still Gabriela Gabriel. Bye, guys.